Hello, this is One Press LTP, and welcome to my SNES online app. And you might be wondering why we're here, but I guess if you've seen the video title, you kind of already know why. We are going to be playing one of my favorite SNES games, Kirby's Dream Course. So I first heard about this game whenever Steven played it on his channel, and I watched that LP, and it was quite a fun Let's Play. I really recommend you checking it out if you haven't already. But it's just basically is a simple golf game with Kirby. And I'm going to tell you something now, I'm not a huge Kirby fan, but I think Kirby's Dream Course is probably one of my, like, only Kirby games I've really played all the way through. Oh, sorry, that's where that title screen demo. But I suppose let's just jump right into it. You might be able to see I've got everything unlocked in this save file. If you want to play this on the SNES app, you do have access to rewinds, and you also have access to suspend points. And I kind of abused them to get everything unlocked. And plus, it's just fun to just try and break the game as much as you can. But for this Let's Play, we're not going to be using any rewinds, any save states. As much as it might tempt me if I make a mistake on one of these shots. But let's just jump right into it. And the extra course is unlocked after playing the main 8 courses. I think you have to get like a silver medal on every single course to unlock extra courses. I'm on the side if we're going to play through them, but let's just play the courses and see how we do. Let's have a nice relaxing time till we get to about halfway through the game and the courses get up in difficulty. But let's make a new member, and you actually get to design your own like drawing or I guess like design. There is some presets up here. I think you can like select your shapes if you want up here. You have yourself be a 1-up symbol or like a magnifying, is that a magnifying glass or something like that? I'm not entirely sure what that actually is. But I'm just going to keep it nice and simple, and we'll just go for if I can just squeeze something like this in. I'm not the best drawer, by the way, so I'm just trying, as you can see, I'm messing this up badly. I'm just going to try and squeeze in the L to P in here if I can. I might have to do this, maybe. Looks very awkward, actually, I got to be honest. Maybe if I just do it like that. I don't like the way I was looking, actually, to be honest with you. Can I do it? Yeah, it's alright. I'll do. And then just do L to P up here. Yeah, that should be alright. Let's go with that, and that will be our little membership icon, I guess. And we're just going to start off and go into course 1. And before every single course, you see a little clip of Kirby trying to show off his skills, but he missed a hole, unfortunately. But anyways, into course 1, every course in this game has 8 holes, and this is obviously hole 1 because you have to start from somewhere. And this is basically how this game works. It is a golf game, as I told you before, I think. But you're in an isometric view, and you press the Y button to look around to your map. Some maps will be a lot bigger than this. This is probably one of the smaller maps. Yeah, so Kirby is on the ground, and you can basically aim him or using the control stick or the D-pad, I guess. As you can see, you can get him some weird bounce shots, but you can also snap like 45 degrees each side if you use the L and R buttons. So you can basically, if you press up, if you are starting off here, you will have like a normal shot view. If you press down on the D-pad, you will get the extended view. This would count for maybe about 50% power, I think, in your shot. If you press up on the D-pad, you will get yourself into a lob shot, which will become very important in the future, but we don't really need to go into them right now. We will in a later hole on this course. But a lob shot will always be 100% power, and you will actually know exactly where you're landing if you're using that. But this first hole is pretty easy. You just want to... actually, I forgot to mention there's enemies on the course. Basically what happens is that you have to roll into them or hit each enemy, and the last enemy will become the hole. So basically what the game is basically doing here, the first shot's going to basically actually give you a hole in one if you actually get the right amount of power. So what's going to happen here is Kirby will shoot forward, hit that enemy there, bounce off that wall, bounce off this wall, hit this enemy, that enemy will become the hole, and Kirby should just hopefully just roll into the hole. So I'm going to start off here, and I'm going to go for about 75% power, maybe. And that should probably be enough to get a hole in one, and it is. You might have noticed the Kirby fast right there. I pressed the A button during that, and what that can do is that if you hit the A button as Kirby is rolling, you can like give yourself a little bit of an extra bounce, or etc. So that you take a lob shot or bounce off a wall, you can give yourself a little extra boost, which could be both helpful and very detrimental in a lot of occasions. But that's a good start for us. We got a hole in one, and I will take that. So this next hole is pretty similar, although it might be a little bit hard to get a hole in one in this one. It is definitely doable, and I think I like to do a lob shot into here and then do some weird bouncing around here, but let's just keep things nice and simple. And we're going to aim for this arrow, which will basically stop Kirby from rolling in one direction and basically shoot him off the next direction with the current speed he's got. So what the game wants us to do is hit this arrow, hit that enemy, roll down into here, and try and hit one of these two enemies, and then end up with getting in the hole that way. So let's just play it nice and safe. I'm going to hit this arrow here, and I'm going to go for about 75% as last time. Hit that enemy. I might try and do some extra bounces if I can. Get myself going, and yeah, we got the hole appearing, and that should be nice. Now I'm going to aim about here, and I would say the arrow's about maybe 25% power. I'd say that if you hit the down button, it's about 50% power. So it is very hard. It can be hard to gauge ground shots, I think, which is why you might prefer doing a lob shot. And I'm not going to do it this time just because I don't think I want to risk that lob shot, especially on a slope. It will be a bit awkward to do that. So I'm just going to go for a nice little ground shot, and I'd say just about 25% power should be enough, I think. Yep, and that is in 2, which is good. I will take a nice 2-shotter. And that moves us on to the third hole. Now, as this is a Kirby game, you will have abilities, and beating certain enemies will allow you to get an ability. This, for example, will allow you to get access to high jump, which if you press the B button during your shot, you can basically activate an ability, and high jump will send you soaring in the air. But the game actually kind of wants us to hit this arrow, hit that enemy, hit that arrow, hit this enemy, and then jump up onto where the hole will be over here. What you could potentially do is take high jump, and actually, I'm going to give you a wee secret here. That is probably preferable to do for the next hole. So I'm going to take high jump here, and if you hit the B button where you're in a lob shot, you actually get this little grid in the bottom left, and you can basically apply spin to your shots. So if you go to the left here, Kirby will spin to the left, and you can also go up and down to give yourself forward spin or backspin. So I kind of need to do this sort of shot, but it is kind of tricky, as you can see, to actually line up where you want to go. Now, I think that would work there, I think that could potentially work. Maybe I could drag it to the right, maybe? Out of curiosity, I probably actually could bounce off that wall, but it'll be very, very hard to line myself up. Well, you know, that may actually work. If I just... yeah, that could actually work. Yeah, I'm going to try this. I'm actually going to try this here. So whenever you do a spin on the ball, this grid will now appear when you do a lob shot. So the right and left spin will always be applied, but whenever you're doing the forward spin or backspin, you have to time the green little bar onto at the same time where it's overlapping the white bar. So it can be a bit tricky to get your spin just exactly right. So I just need to concentrate here, and that should do it. I didn't get 100% power there, but that should still hit the enemy. And I just try and roll down. Ah, did not get the roll down. So I got myself a little bit of a tricky shot here. It doesn't really tell me much of what I could do here. I mean, I guess I could try and see where the ball takes me. I was going to try that and see if I can bounce towards that hole. And almost. But 3 shots, I'll take it. It's not the worst. And I suppose I will show you off. I'll hopefully be able to show off how I jump in the next hole. And that should do us for 3. So far we're doing okay. That's 1, 2, 3. 6 shots total, so like average of 2 shots per hole. Not the worst. So, if we did not take high jump in the last hole, what the game will expect you to do is hit this enemy, go into this warp tile, which will send you over here, and you see the red arrow? That's where Kirby will start like moving towards whenever he comes out of the warp. So the game expects you to hit this enemy, go into this warp, I'll come out of this here, and hopefully like stop with this enemy, and then you can get yourself a 2 shot. What you actually can do is if you take high jump from the last hole, you can do this maneuver. So you could go here, here, hit the enemy, jump over the wispy woods, or the tree, I suppose, if you're not too familiar with Kirby terms. Hit that enemy and then bounce away into the hole. So I'm going to try this now because I got high jump. I think I'm going to try about 75% power and see what happens. Jump over the tree, go high jump, bounce into that enemy. I missed that enemy. Okay, that is interesting. Was not expecting that. Would it be best for me to actually just... No, that's probably too risky actually. I'm going to bounce off this enemy and go back to the worst hole. That should be okay, I think. Did not expect to miss that first enemy, but that is what it is. Let's go for about just over 50% maybe? Maybe just 50? Let's go about that much. And hopefully that should just be enough to get the hole. And it is. So I tried for the hole in one strategy, didn't work, but a hole in two, that's what you expected to get anyways this hole, so I can't complain too much. Okay, this hole. So there's a high jump enemy up here, there's an arrow also there, and that is actually an edge or a wall there. The wee green areas are actually called walls. I just call them walls to be honest. I suppose they are called edges, but I just prefer to call them walls because it is a wall. So you can expect you to hit this high jump enemy, go up here, hit the wall, bounce back the ways, roll down this hill, jump whenever you get back towards the starting area, avoid the spiked enemy, which I believe is called a Gordo, hit this enemy, and then roll into the hole. This should be a fairly simple hole in one, I think, all going well, so I'm giving myself full power and see how it goes. Roll down the hill, hit the arrow, and I did not have enough momentum. That's great. This is turning out very well. I suppose I can just roll down and do the high jump then, I suppose. Let's do the high jump up here. I should avoid the enemy, and I should be able to roll back into the hole. All going well. And there we go. I mean, I could have had 2 hole-in-ones back to back, but I mean, at least I'm not feeling too badly. Okay, so this hole, and you're expected to hit the enemy here. I believe these are caboos, I think. I don't know what you're called. Sorry. I'm not very familiar with my Kirby terms. But this enemy here will give you a new power-up, and it is called Parasol. What Parasol will allow you to do is kind of like stop almost on a dime if you're on the ground shot, but if you're in the air, it will allow you to float down towards the ground. So you can kind of like float down towards and like aim yourself like towards an enemy or the hole. So what this one is expecting us to do is hit this enemy here, hit the arrow, hit this enemy, then you're going to go off this, off this arrow, and then parasol down into the hole. So this should be okay. Let's go for about 80% power and let's get going. So you can see that the enemies are going to be on the hole. Let's just try and activate parasol and try and steer ourselves into the hole. It is very awkward to control that, by the way. As you can see, I'm very, very narrowly just at the hole. So I'll give myself a little tappy and give myself into the hole. Okay, hole number 7. So we're going to start off here, and the game wants us to do a lob shot up here. And here we have a new obstacle, water. So with water, you will basically sink down to the bottom of the pool, unless your shot has a lot of forward spin. In which case you will basically skip off the water, and I think the game actually wants us to hit this enemy, skip off the water, hit this enemy, and then kind of roll towards the hole. Potentially, let's just give it a go and see what happens. Also, I did not mean to apply that spin there. Let me see, if I just do that, that should free myself there. There we go. So I'm going to give myself as much forward spin as possible, and try and get the as close to perfect as possible. And let's escape off this water, and maybe it could be a hole in one. We just slowly roll towards the hole. Perfect! That makes up for a few mistakes in the last few holes. Hole in one, baby! Also, you will all I forgot to actually mention this in the first hole actually. In the bottom right corner, you will see 4 tomatoes. Actually, you can't even see them now. Actually, yeah. So if I just do this here, in the bottom right corner, you will see 4 tomatoes. Every time Kirby has a shot, he will use up a tomato. Every time Kirby hits an enemy, he will gain a tomato. If you run out of all 4 tomatoes, you will lose a life. You will always start the game off with 2 lives, and you will gain a life every time you get a hole in one. So lives are a bit scarce in this game, so you want to try and get as many holes in one as possible, which will help you later on as you get further into the game. Anyways, hole number 8. So there's 3 enemies here. There's one up here, there's one down there, and one down here. What the game wants us to do is hit this switch, which will drain the water, and then kind of curve ourselves around this enemy, and maybe try and curve and hit this enemy. And then I guess just jump down and get into the hole. So I'm just going to do what the game implies us to do. There's also a warp panel there, which could potentially screw us over if we get into that, but hopefully we won't. Let's just do what the game wants us to do and give ourselves full power. As you notice there, I had the pink bar on that power switch, which means that I got the completely maximum amount of power on that shot. And that is an awkward position to be in. Okay, so what I can do is I can show off that you can also apply curve whenever you're on the ground. However, curve shots can be a bit messy and they can be like going in circles if you keep doing curve shots. Or if you do like a maximum curve shot in the full power, you can like spin yourself around in circles a lot. But what I'm going to do here is hit this enemy, curve to the left, and then maybe activate Parasol whenever I'm in the air and float on towards the hole. So I'm going to give this a shot. And Parasol also acts off momentum, so if you're off, if you're like flying off that cliff, Parasol will absolutely they go flying. So be careful. It looks like I'm gonna finish us off with 3 shots, and yeah, that's course number 1. So it wasn't the worst, but it also I probably could have done a lot better. To be honest, I could have got like a few hole in ones there, which I missed out on. So I'm thinking I should have had about maybe 2 shots less when I got in the end, whatever that is. That will be about 16. That's not because I'm not going to complain too much. Like that's like 2 shots per hole on average, and I will take that. Yeah, I mean 4, 5, and 6 they could have been holes in ones, I think, but I'm not going to complain about 16. And there we go. You will see up there is my other membership, which is yeah, as I said at the start, I abused the rewind and the save site just to get the highest score I could for a gold medal. As you see here, I got silver medal, which is not too bad at all. I will take that. But you'll see, I did like a normal run, let's put it that way, and then I went for let's just get as high as I can, like to get everything unlocked type of run. But yeah, I will take 16. I will take 16, and yeah, join us back next time when we take on course number 2.